The conclusion of Issue 2 saw Storm and Magneto make their entrance into a dark void, only to be met by a figure strongly suggested to be the Shadow King. This assumption is confirmed in the present scene. The issue opens with Annihilation querying Storm on whether she truly believed their conflict was resolved with the Mask's destruction in the Genesis War. Previously encountered in X-Men Red Issue 18, Storm used lightning to destroy the Mask of Annihilation affixed to Genesis' staff, thereby concluding the Ericoan civil strife, dubbed the Genesis War. Annihilation remarks that destroying a mask hardly equates to vanquishing Annihilation itself. Annihilation suggests to Storm that she might be underestimating Annihilation's complexity, hinting at the existence of multiple entities operating under various disguises, potentially engaging Storm in a perpetual conflict with them. This leads to the introduction of a range of characters, from the well-known to the less recognized, all connected by their roles as cosmic embodiments of evil. She engages in battle against what seems to be the First Fallen, described by the Watcher as the primal opposite of the Phoenix, the Goblin Force, Annihilation, and perhaps the Adversary. At the same time, Max faces off with a figure resembling Charles, an incarnation of the Shadow King who probes the existence of a darker side within Charles Xavier. In their dialogue, Max insists that Shadow King Charles refrain from addressing him as Eric. The Shadow King, adopting Charles's form, suggests that the true Charles had encountered him as Eric, and now, adopting the name Max, he seeks to shed his various facades. However, Shadow King Charles intimates the presence of yet another facade, inquiring about the name Max holds dear in his heart. Max confesses it to be Magneto. Shadow King Charles transforms into a villainous version of Magneto, clad in red, spouting mutant supremacy and anti-human sentiments, echoing Magneto's own declarations, thereby confronting Magneto with his own darker aspects. Identifying herself as Goddess and Omega, Storm reflects on these titles she has accepted and now resolves to embody fully. The First Fallen comments on Storm's allure and perfection, urging her to remain unchanged and attempting to immobilize her as if she were a statue. However, she emphatically breaks free, declaring her refusal to be constrained by him or anyone else. Annihilation manifests and attaches itself to Storm's face, criticizing her for her addiction to duty, moving from one task to another as effortlessly as a butterfly or a magician juggling plates. It questions whether the world would continue to go on in Storm's absence. The Shadow King, presenting himself as Charles to Storm, receives a rebuke from her to stop demeaning those he impersonates and to reveal his true form. He then transforms into the Adversary, continuing his taunts. Magneto confronts his doppelganger in red, ultimately asserting to his counterpart that his mission has transcended mere mutant protection to include safeguarding all those who are marginalized and persecuted. Magneto's doppelganger challenges Max regarding his previous claims of mutant supremacy over humans and the perpetual enmity between the two. However, Max embraces Charles's enduring vision of a utopian era where mutants and humans work together closely to make a better world. Max confronts the anger within himself, acknowledging his actions and claiming ownership of the darkness within him. Yet, he also proclaims that his anger will fuel his commitment to forge a better future for everyone who is hated and feared. Magneto's doppelganger responds skeptically. We'll see. Storm adeptly counters every provocation from the Shadow King until he reveals his true form. He mocks her, claiming she is the sole savior of the world, her people, the flawless goddess who never errs. It is only she. She recognizes this as his ultimate snare, aiming to isolate her in battle. Gathering her strength, she understands her course of action and extends her right hand in anticipation. As anticipated, Max joins her, uniting their energies to unleash a formidable blast on the enraged Shadow King. The combined force of Storm and Max's attack hits the Shadow King, eliciting a scream from him. With the Shadow King vanquished, Storm begins to descend, weakened by the effort of their attack. Magneto catches her as she fades, her energy spent. Through her inner monologue, she acknowledges the Shadow King's temporary defeat, his power diminished for the moment. She accepts that her cosmic duty and her own are now complete. As she drifts away, she urges Magneto to activate his key once again and return to the world that requires him. However, Magneto rejects this conclusion, unwilling to lose another innocent. He reasserts that he does not want to see another life lost, knowing he has the power to keep that from happening. Storm tells him she believes her life and outcome is out of his hands, but again, Magneto vehemently refuses to accept what she's saying. He states that if he can draw on Aurora's life, she can draw on his. With energy flowing from his body and illuminating their surroundings, Magneto tells her to take the power he has drawn and call it forth. In a memorable display of Magneto's abilities, we see him drawing energy as he proclaims his dominion over power itself, imploring her to harness it and live. Storm regains consciousness in the actual world. The luminescent hands that revive her are Taya's, with Blue Marvel beside her, though it is understood that Magneto was the catalyst for her revival. As she recovers, she prompts Adam to observe. A skeletal figure emerges from the gateway, assembling flesh, bone, and blood from the chaos beyond, manifesting both as a new and yet familiar form. This prompts Blue Marvel to question who it is. As the mysterious figure strides from the portal, it responds by boldly stating that men know him by the name of Magneto.